Hello and welcome back to World of Tanks. This is Merkava 4 IWI, and before I start this battle, I just want to give a quick preview about this tank. This is the Grille15 Tier 10 German TD. It's quite different than my favorite Jagdpanzer E100. This is a very, very mobile vehicle. It has fairly good camo ratings, and it has a brutal 150mm gun. So what this tank allows you to do is be able to relocate from flank to flank depending on your team needs. And this is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So let's get started. Team lineup, we got, this is a tier 10 all battle. Enemy team has a lot of good tanks, 2 Death Stars, a Grille, a T110E3, Progetto 65, T95, a Mouse, a Kranwagen, and 2 artilleries and an EBR, so things should get interesting.
Los geht's.
I tell my platoon mate to split up. He can take one flank, and I can take the other flank and cover this Progetto, while the EBR is scouting the 0 line and the 9 line to see exactly who is going to show up here. Now this TD is quite of what we call a bushwanker. Try to sit in a comfortable distance under a cover of bushes, trees, and other objects, and we try to get some decent shots at people. Now on this map we started here, but we don't want to stay here for too long if we are not able to acquire any targets to shoot. So the EBR is not detecting anything as of yet, so I tell myself to kind of get a little closer and see if anyone shows up. I'm looking at the map, and I see that the enemy EBR and the enemy Object 277 are at the castle. And of course there's some action going downtown, as I call it. And we have an STB-1 in our flank, but for now he's pretty cautious. So he's not pushing it. And we're just chilling here for now. Get a little closer, but not too close. It's about as far as I'm going to go here. My platoon mate went to the downtown area and taking quite an aggressive approach to this battle with a TD that's not really well armored, but sometimes it does work out. Alright, at this point I decide that I want to start addressing the castle, and I want to start overlooking the downtown area where there are more targets. And looks like my platoon mate gets taken out by the tier 10 artillery, French artillery autoloader. Definitely a pretty dangerous tank. We're gonna make our way into these bushes here, and I'm gonna go up a little further. Actually, I'm gonna go up here real quick to see where this 277 is, and he's not spotted anymore, so I'll go further a bit in this flank towards the middle, find myself some bushes and some trees, and see if I can get some decent shots. I'm doing my best not to knock down too many trees, because if the artillery, on the other hand, is playing counter, they will be watching for that. Okay, so from over here, I'm going to pause this for a second. From over here, we can look at the downtown area, and we can look at the castle. So this is a pretty good position at this point. Let's continue. Mr. Progetto there is getting hammered. Let's see if he peeks out. I'm going to try to take a shot at him, and... Okay, that was... lagging like no tomorrow. Don't know what happened with the game or the internet, but... that shot did not go where I wanted to go. I put another blind shot where he was, just in case he is not spotted, but peeks out, and right now Mr. 277 is trying to push it. I don't fire at him because if I did at this distance, he would detect me. But I did spot him for 695, so I'll take that. I'm gonna sit here for a while and see what's going on. This side is a lot more interesting than the other flank. The 277s are going at it. Right now, things are not looking too promising. We are down by 4 tanks. I see the Progetto making a move, and I'm gonna look right at this crease between the castle and the turret, and beautiful. Right in between those two big walls. Right when he gets there. This gun is quite accurate, so it allows you to do that. I'm pretty happy with that shot. Reload another AP round, and Mr. E3 on the enemy team is dead. So now things are starting to even out a little bit. I see the STB pushing the other flank, and our Progetto is sitting way in the back. So since this flank is doing much better now, I decide to use my mobility and go back to where we started in the beginning. Now I see that the EBR is pushing to spot, so definitely want to get back in there. We don't want them to be able to flank us from that area. So we're doing like 57 kilometers per hour, which is pretty damn fast. I mean, it's almost like light tank territory. And gonna be a little cautious here. Although I just noticed that the EBR on the enemy team is dead, so that's great. They got a lot of less spotting power now. And I'm gonna knock down this tree. Oh, gently. And I'm just gonna chill here for a second. I do have coated optics on this tank, a gun rammer, and camo net. So I can spot people while I move and when I'm stationary. Camo net helps with the camo. Gun rammer decreases my reload time. Chilling with the villain now. See if they make a move that we can counter. It looks like their 7-7 takes out our object 277. I'm gonna move in a little closer. That way I can spot better. And I can also cover the Progetto in case the enemy starts to move in on him. Progetto knows that I'm covering him, so he pulls up a little bit. The FV95, excuse me, the T95. Oh, and we spot the Death Star, and we're gonna aim. We hit him flash for 742 with an AP round. And just when I'm about to go into the town and help this T95 with the enemy Grille, I spot the Foch 155 making a move on the Progetto. I'm spotted myself. I got hit by the enemy 268, but it's not a big deal. I hit the Foch. I avoid the artillery. I got hit by the other artillery. And the Progetto takes out the Foch 155, but the 268 now decides to moving on the progetto. So guess what? I have his side. I'm aiming. Another shot. 632, and they're dueling at it. And this 268 is going to become history as we shoot him in the ass. But guess what? The STB is now moved in the progetto and killed the progetto. And now he makes a bad move because he's trying to retreat. And I put a blind shot into him. I believe that went through, but I can't recall. We'll have to check the report. And now we need to be careful because the artillery knows exactly where we're at. And they could be pre-aiming for both of sides of this big mound. We let some time pass by, and we're going to make it into the middle of the town to, 1, avoid the artillery, 2, assist our team in getting rid of the other Death Star on the enemy team. So get moving here. We still need to be careful with this STB. He could be flunking us, but looks like the STB takes our T-95, so he's definitely going to move in. So it's us, our Death Star, versus the enemy Death Star, the STB, and the artilleries are both sides. We're doing pretty well here. We still got 1/3 of our health left, and we're spotted, probably by the STB. So now everybody knows where we're at, so we got to be careful from the artillery, we got to be careful from the STB, and we got to be careful from the Death Star, who is lurking real close by. So we're gonna wait. If the Death Star makes his move through this gate, I will shut him down. He's on like 32 hit points, if I recall correctly, or something like that. I don't spot him. I'm gonna pull back. And the STB is making a move on our Death Star and kills him. Since this gun is so awesome and so accurate, we're able to snapshot him. And our artillery finishes him off. I am now going to concentrate on the Death Star. The enemy artillery fires at me, but is not even close. And now the question is, where the Death Star? If he hits me, I'm toast. Okay, he's on 59 hit points. Okay, well, he kills our 268, and I move in on him quickly, and it's challenging because I've got so many damn dead tanks around here, and I gotta get to him before he reloads. But guess what? I spot him, and our artillery finishes him off. So is it over? You'd like to think it is, but we're not quite there yet. I'm thinking the artilleries on the enemy team will be hiding on the A line, but I don't want to take a direct approach to them, because if that enemy artillery hits me to flash on in this tank, it's gonna be goodbye. So what I do is I try to quickly as I can to cross the bridge, and then I'm gonna go around the area where I think they are, in order to try to come from a direction where they least expect me to come from. I'm doing about 48 kilometers per hour. I keep saying miles per hour because I live in the US, although I grew up in the metric system, but I use miles per hour all day. So, and the clock is starting to run out. We got 1 minute and 45 seconds. I climb up the hill. I got an AP round loaded, and sadly I am not spotting any artilleries here at all, which means they both moved already. So our artillery is already capping, and now I'm thinking, it's quite a wide map. Where could they be? Would they be on the one line, or did they run off? And now it becomes apparent that they both ran to our base. And I'm thinking, okay, our artillery is right there and he's capping. He can hit them and try to reset the clock. I'm going to use my speed and mobility to try to reach them and reset myself, even at the cost of dying. Our artillery fires and succeeds to reset. They are still leading us by about 6 seconds. I'm racing over there at 55 kilometers per hour. And somehow, I think they either move off the cap because we're about to beat their timer, which we do. And I finally spot one of them and I take him out. And guess what? Yeah. 13 seconds left on the clock. And we come out on top. Hope you enjoy this replay. And see you on the next one.